For years, the VR community awaited the return of a game from the beloved developers in Another Axiom, and that title has arrived. A landmark LAN event to mark the beginning of an era. Watch the final match of the Orion Drift Phoenix Invitational.
It could have been anyone here in the finals, granted, but I was touching on it earlier with Dimwee. This is a team that we've seen across these cups, Pioneer, Ignition Cup. They keep on meeting each other, whether semifinals or finals. They are battling each other constantly at this highest level. So you figure we've seen it once earlier in the day, and we're seeing it again here. So surprise, not surprise, a little bit of both, I suppose, because of the level of play. But man, they always provide some entertaining matchups.
We have seen some incredibly entertaining matchups. You know, during that intermission, I was walking around, I was talking to players from a bunch of different teams, and you know what? Even as the teams that went out, great time, because this has just been so much fun. Watching them play has been so much fun, and they have been killing it. The competitive level has been through the roof, maybe to space, we might say. And these matchups have been ridiculous, especially that last one we just saw.
We're getting into our last best of 7. There's no bracket reset here. It is do or die if you're IVI, if you're Ignite. It is a moment to cement yourself in history as the first ever Orion Drift VRMLCon champion. And on top of that, the awesome medals we have that we're giving all of the winners here at VRMLCon, the $5 grand in cash, the hype, it's just all of that, and then more with this amazing audience here cheering them on. It's got to be so much pressure at the end of the day, Palador, for them to deal with.
Oh yeah, we've seen, it's a tale as old as time, but we see champions come, champions go, but to be the first one for Orion Drift at a VRMLCon, that's saying something, and you can carry that momentum into the start of a new season, walk into season 1 in September, with a little bit of extra swag on your walk and your shoulders, a little bit of a pep in your step, being the big dogs coming after the con. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, man.
And let's talk about the lineups for today as we dive into IVIs. JDG, they're here. Mosey, they're here. Nadash, they're here. Yuki is here. Everyone is here for IVI, and they are on stage ready to go. I'm curious how you feel about this IVI roster, but let's first jump over to Ignite, zoom in on who we have on stage here for the Ignite lineup. It's Swagwar, it's Baz, it's Crash and Tux, and it's Goblin. All of these players battling out all day long, and I can't wait to get into the best of 7 finals. I gotta wonder how they're feeling, Dimmy. The stamina, the literal shoulder muscles got to be sore right now,
Well, if you're IVI, they certainly are, but Ignite, they've had a good rest here. So, you get that debate, that old debate, is a longer rest and coming in cold better, or is staying warm but maybe a little tired better? It's an argument that's as old as competitive gaming, that's for sure. But we're going to find out in just a moment which one might be the better situation, as we've got IVI and Ignite set to face off in this grand finals.
All right. Gonna be a good night, and Dimwee as well. Here we go, the start of the first round, and there is the sound as we go into it. Mozzie, first possession. Let's go.
Nice pass to Nadash that goes a touch wide. Swagwar with a little bit of intercept there, running some interference as Crash and Tuck scoops it up, carving across the top wall, zipping down through the midfield. JDG is here to shut it down as they fly up like a jack in the box, to quote Palador. Passing to Mozzie to get into the midfield, and the pressure is on. Is that a near goal? No, okay, Goblin is there to scoop it up.
Yeah, good stop there by Goblin. Now Swagwar moving on up, has Baz across, goes to Baz. Big shot on goal, goes just wide. And that was going to get slapped out there. I believe it was Yuki in goal getting that one away. And Ivy, doesn't get possession. Baz gets it back. Baz across. Good play there by JDG, getting that one out of the zone.
All right, now back into that trench area. Baz coming away with it, trying to redirect himself into the ball, but they will be lost, actually, swooped up by Yuki. Yuki now eyeing down the teammate there for an attempted pass, an attempted shot, but a bit wide. Mozzie slapping it back. Goblin, however, ejects it into the midline, takes a rough ricochet back to Swag. He's dangerous from back there, in danger zone. That goal is his own. It's 1-0.
Ignite creeping ahead with a huge shot on the back line there. It's so hard to scramble back when you are trying to apply pressure on this Ignite squad. You want to be able to get the ball through the goal, and you need everyone on the front line to do it, and that's risky as that shot goes wide. A nice denial on the back line from this Ignite squad on defense, just like you'd expect. Another long shot, but Mozzie's there to save this one. Not an easy goal coming in now.
Yeah, Mozzie, easy stop there. Sends it out. JDG coming away with that one. No, Swagwar disrupts it. Mozzie trying to get it back, but it's going to be Goblin sending that one back to towards the offensive zone here for Ignite. Baz moving in. Baz sends it across. Hits the pass. They get the goal. Ignite has a 2-point lead. 2 minutes in.
Yeah, has a long history there as well, dating back to Echo, just like his teammates by his side, and like a lot of the Ivy players as well. These players have been doing it for years. You talk about the pressures of a championship match, but they've met those pressures before many a times over the years, so you know they're ready to go here after this long, exhausting day of matches.
1v2. Nice dive there in the goal to deny that cross pass from coming to fruition. It would have been a pass behind them for a shot into that goal for sure. So a big denial as Swagwar passes down to Goblin, and that bounce pass goes a touch too high. Goblin not able to scoop it up in time as Baz keeps the ball on the front line here for Ignite, and IVI clear it down. Nadosh trying to spin and keep the momentum going forward, but Swagwar from the back line intercepts, keeps things moving, and back to the midfield we go with Ignite on the attack.
Yeah, just over 2 minutes to go here. Ignite up 2-0. And Mozzie there on the far side trying to disrupt that. Unable to. Swagwar slaps it up. There's JDG with possession. JDG near side pass to Mozzie. Oh no, that's disrupted, but it will be Mozzie there to recover there on the far side. And now picked up once again by Ignite. Ignite is just keeping this pressure on. That's Goblin. Pass across. It's Swag. Swag trying to pass down to the floor. Goblin not able to get there. That is Yuki sending that one out. JDG now on the attack.
And with that, JDG falling here from that halo. And let's see. Let's go. Oh no, Crash does just that into JDG, denying that attempted drive. Back here, Mozzie as well, trying to contest that one. Crash and Co. trying to grab each other, get into that goal. It's a danger zone right above those tight angles. We've seen so many shots go in from their night.
Yeah, and Swagwar trying again get that behind the back shot as they fly off of the backboard. They just miss a little bit there, and it's quickly scooped up by the defense from IVI. They're not letting any easy points through outside of the one open goal that's sneaked in already, and so far they've kept it close. 1:20 left on the clock. Time is ticking down, but they have only 2 points to score, so it's very within reach. They just can't afford missed passes or time to waste like this in the corner of their own zone.
And you can try to send that one out, but it will be disrupted by Ignite there in the neutral zone. JDG tries to get it back, scrum for it. Goblin though gets it through. Swagwar set up. Goblin gets it. That's a 3-point lead to Ignite 3-0 with 1 minute to go.
IVI down to almost a detrimental point here. With time ticking, they have to have a quick offensive rollout here. They can't afford an intercept from Swagwar to slow them down like they have, as Baz now flies to the top line and looks for another cross pass to Crash and Tux, who a behind the back shot secures it in. Ignite up 4-0 now. Round one looking good for them.
And they are scoring, but they're making statements with each of these scores, especially that last one. Doing it even in the difficult way, taking the harder route around and making them featured in the highlight clips for that. Really a rough way to start for Ivy, but certainly for Ignite. They are feeling airtight. They're completely just executing the way they want. And I know when I went there during one of the breaks earlier, they were up there up in the third floor doing a little bit of warm-ups at least.
Yeah.
And obviously, you had that question, Dimwee, and we had that question about how they would be after that break, that long break without a game, and they're looking mighty fine.
Mighty fine indeed, as Ignite will take, well, they're about to take round one. 4-2 something, there it is. Spiking that one down to the floor. There we go, yeah, Ignite take it 4-0. And Ignite will take round one.
Yeah, it's always interesting how time works in this game. When the ball is elevated in the air and the timer is at 0, it still technically has the round going until someone hits it on the ground, even if 1 point wouldn't necessarily secure them a win. And some teams really take to trying to finish off a round with a point. And I feel like it goes back to the discussion we've had, Dimwee, about momentum and energy. If you can get a point on the board against Ignite after a tough 4-0 loss, it's a nice way to carry in to another round. You have a little energy within the squad, but instead, by IB themselves, they say, no, we're not going to keep playing this round out. We want to reset, almost as if to say, let's wipe the slate clean here from round one. Let's get into round two. We've got 3 more at least to go in a best of 7, so there's room to grow.
Room to grow indeed, as we are going to get set here. Round 2, Ignite going up 1-0 in this best of 7 matchup. They took a 4-0 victory in round 1. Howder, we're underway.
Yes, we are. Now we'll see how the rebuttal comes here from IVI after their exhausting exhausting match here just moments ago on stream. That's going to be a first goal, just denied a little bit on the high bounce. That's another question too, is IVI's endurance here, because I know just seeing the players after their last match, they were exhausted, very visibly so.
Yeah, it's a test of stamina, a test of skill. It's a true test of your ability to play this game at the ultimate competitive level. As JDG is here, scoops it up, tries to work up through the midfield with a cross pass to Yuki, who flies up with a nice boost. Slaps it up to the midfield for a clear to Crash and Tux, unfortunately, as Nadash was not there in time, and so instead it goes back into their zone where they have to go back and defend. 4 minutes on the clock, a minute down, scoreless so far. You can tell IVI are trying to get that first point on the board. They really want to shut down Ignite from getting a footing in round 2, and if they can get that 1 point lead, it's going to be huge for them. So right now they're doing a great job of fending it off, and let's see how this offensive pressure unfolds.
JDG, trying to make something happen. It will be Goblin moving away with that one, looking to attack the goal, has 2 pass options, sends it. Wow, what placement on that shot from Goblin to put Ignite up 1-0, top lane over the goalie.
Yeah, making it look so smooth, so effortless as well. So beautiful way to get themselves on the board here first, again, starting where they left off in that last round. So right back now to JDG and Hosing if they can get themselves a score here. But a lot of pressure defensively coming in as Baz will take it away right back towards the other lane with an interception back to JDG. Now moving up 1, 2, and 3 in a nice triangle, seeing if they can get those passes down the lane, but it will be broken up yet again.
And here we go into the final 3 minutes of round 2. Plenty of time for IVI to find something here as Nada scoops up the ball, works past to a nice pass it on JGG, and they can't get through that front line. On the quick intercept is Yuki, who keeps momentum going for Mozzie, and now they keep things forward here for IVI. They've had a tough time keeping the momentum going off of rebounds, and as you see here, it's because players like Swagwar, Goblin, and Baz all coming together for that push forward. A follow-up from the back line on Goblin. They still can't make it through, but a great attempt nonetheless. Now it's IVI's turn.
Yeah, shout out to Nah. Big stop there on defense, giving IVI an opportunity. No, Ignite's going to pick that one. Tux trying to move away with it, but a backliner there for IVI, keeping it in play. Instead, Goblin moving back into the offensive zone. Goblin across the Baz, but Mozzie, big stop as JDG looks to send it back to Mozzie or somewhere across. You've got Nah right nearby. They're going to run parallel up into the offensive zone, but instead, no, gets it across. JDG, Nah, back to Nah, takes the shot. Instead, scoops that one back to that far side corner where Yuki is there to recover.
Yeah, Middle lost the hand as well. That ball just went the totally opposite direction of where the intention was, I think. But with that said, it will prevent them from getting that first point, and we're already under 2-minute warning here in this second round. So Nadash well aware of that situation, but does lose the boost and falls down looking like the end of that Titanic movie for a moment, just helplessly watching the ball fly by. We'll pick it up here in the sky, though. Mozzie has plenty of boost to spare, as well as JDG and Yuki, so they still maintain control, but now they need to space out and look for those passes. Swagwar denies just that.
Yeah, and a nice movement here from Swagwar. Good ceiling carve on that bottom route. A nice pass here to Goblin, but it's swatted away. Crash and Tux in the back line. The entirety of Ignite is here. They want to pile on a second point to go up 2-0 as Crash and Tux jukes out one. The shot there dangles in between the goal and is swatted away. Baz quickly scoops it back up and keeps things pressured forward until suddenly we're down into the sewers vying for ball control in the midfield.
That was one of the most heartbreaking denials I have seen in this tournament, though. Swagwar for Ignite moving on in. Swagwar does not miss. 2-point lead to Ignite. 1 minute to go.
Swag on a mission there, certainly for control. A strong 2-point lead, especially in the context of there being 50 seconds left. Not a lot of time for IVI here to make up the difference a little bit, but anything they can get will be a positive win or lose in this particular round. They just need to see the ball go in just once here. Let them get some sort of momentum, because right now, Ignite's just been shutting them out.
Yeah, and I think that's the Ignite plan. Let's play a super strong defense. Maybe the best defense is a good, or best offense is a good defense, is their theory. Typically, you go the other way around, but this defense from Ignite has just made it demoralizing if you're IVI. As you try to break through it, you struggle every inch of the way, whether it's back in your own zone in the corners where you scramble for ball control, if it's in the midfield where Swagwar comes flying out of nowhere for an intercept, or if it's in in their own zone where the defense is on point, shutting things down. As I say, Swag War on the intercept, as if to hear me. They scoop it up, bounce it off the floor, lock in the final point of the round, go up 3-0, and Ignite 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, that's the third point of that round. It's also Swag's third goal of this matchup as Ignite gets that 3-0 victory in round 2 over IVI. And as I look at my stat board here, IVI is scoreless right now. The number one thing they need to do going into round 3, get a goal. They got to get a goal. However they can get it, they got to get a goal.
The thing is, the longer you go without one, the harder it gets, because then, you go 30 seconds, a minute, a couple minutes, and you don't really think about it. But then you start going 3 minutes without a goal, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, extending to another round 6 minutes. And then you start thinking about it even more. And then you're starting to get a little bit more panicked or a little bit more anxious about, why can't we break through the defense? And the more you think about it, the harder it gets. So if they can just see that one go in, I think that could really start their engines up in the context of this best of 7. They have plenty of time tonight.
Yeah, and we have a hot swap going on right now on the stage for Ivy. Maybe that's going to be the key element. Because they've been tested so long, we did have a new player come in. It might have been updated on the assets quite yet. We're getting that info to you fine folk at home that are watching. But I witnessed it happen on stage. They swapped headsets and are now getting ready for the start of our next round. We do appreciate everyone that's patiently waiting for the action, whether you're tuning in live or hanging out here at VRMLCon. It means a lot to us that you're here enjoying the action as a community. It's exactly what we want to do here, is bring everyone together to enjoy their favorite VR esports games. And it's what VRMLCon is doing, quite frankly, as almost perfectly, I would say. It has been a really fantastic weekend across 5 different games. Prizes for 4 of them for a total of $20,000 in cash, HyperX hardware, giveaways all day. It's been an incredible weekend, and it's taken years, 8 years of VRML, 9 years now of VRML being an organization to be able to do something like this. We built up the experience with cons 1 and 2 in 2023 and 2024, and now we're here really flexing, I feel like, as we showcase Orion Drift on stage and get to show everybody at home what VR Esports is about. Orion Drift exemplifies it in some cases the best because it's so physical, because it's a test of stamina. It's a test of all of your hardware. It's a test of your mental willpower. It's a test of your roster. Do you have an extra person to bring in and sub? That's the question. Is it going to be enough for IVI? We'll see as we roll out here into our next round, round number 3 of this best of 7.
And we did get a hot swap there. That was Starkey coming in for Mozzie. So you see Starkey on the overlay, but if you see in-game, you see Mozzie's name, that is Starkey playing with Mozzie's headset. As Starkey there on the far side loses it, but there's a gnaw dash in their defensive zone. IVI pushing up, trying to push out of their zone under pressure. It will be to JDG. Ball is loose. Gnaw picks it up. Gnaw sending it across, looking for Mozzie. And excuse me, as that one will be, Starkey, as that one is tussled for here on the near side.
Yeah, battling for ball control here in the corner. Yuki's going to come in from the back line. The entirety of this IVI squad is trying to brawl out in the midfield for ball control here as JDG finally does scoop it up, tries to buy some time with a pass to the center, but Crash and Tux crashes in with their Tux, scoops up the ball and takes control in the midfield. Trying to work up for an offensive pressure is a nice pass here to the top line, but JDG, goes a little too far. Swag War scoops it up off of the backside, tries to go for the behind the back shot, and Mozzie, aka Starkey, scoops it up and bats it over to the center of the corner, as Mozzie now gets it up over into the zone of Ignite.
All right, so those fresh legs, the fresh arms here coming in for Mozzie there, as will be Baz, though, with the ball. Sending it high ways. There's JDG. Gently capturing the ball, but sending it to Nadash, who was covered by 2 people, crisscrossing, and maybe even apple saucing. Whoa, big goal from deep.
We see these huge long-range goals come in from Ignite in the early moments of rounds typically, and it's an indicator that IV is committing super hard to their offense. They're not able to dive back in time. They don't have someone sitting in goal. Everyone is on the front line because that's what's required to win against Ignite. You have to commit. You have to take risks. And they're trying to take these risks, but they're just not able to break through. Baz, Goblin, both picking up control here and batting it away from the hands of Mozzie as JDG tries to get through this front line. A cross pass that's quickly pursued by Swag War, forces the shot up to the top of the zone, and we continue to battle for a shot onto this Ignite goal. Can this IVI squad get their first point? No, it's going to be back into the midfield.
Yeah, it's Baz moving away with that one from the goalie crease and sending that one up, but a tackle there right at the edge of the offensive zone will result in that turnover as Yuki looking for Nah moving into the offensive zone, slaps that one into that near side corner. They're going to race for it. Baz does get there first, but it will be JDG with a big pickup. JDG crossing to Yuki setting up JDG. They're not able to connect on that shot, and Ignite will get that one out as well.
When the pressure is on Palador, it's got to be hard to effectively communicate your plays. The Swag War here tries to take it all on their own, not even relying on Baz comes in out of nowhere up the corner. Beautiful teamwork coming in from Ignite. It stands out on stage when it's sometimes the hardest to do.
Yeah, sometimes, again, it's the enemy you know, sometimes it's the enemy you don't. Not realizing, you're thinking the threat was Swag, but no, there was someone right behind Baz coming in for that recovery as that goes right out of the goal on a near hit, but ultimately a near miss instead.
I heard that ground in the crowd, that one there. That was so close. That was almost IVI's first goal of the game, but instead it's going to be Ignite with possession, at least Ignite pushing into the zone here. Someone hitting their head. Good thing it doesn't hurt, as that one's going to be far side. JDG trying to get there. No, Ignite touches first. Ignite sending it to the goal, but that is Nah on the back line, sending that one back up. Yuki, big setup for Nah and Yuki. 2v3, set off the backboard, and Baz will come out to play that one. No, Mozzie! Excuse me, Starkey taking a shot there, goes just wide and recover there on the near side.
Everyone here battling for ball control. Everyone stepped up onto the front line for IV as they try to get this ball into the goal, trying to score their first point here at the VRMLCon 2025 Grand Finals. Nadosh puts it up to the top of the barrier. Here's JDG. They can't scoop it up, and we reset back to the zone, back to the midfield. Yuki keeps things forward. That's a shot that drifts in. No, just off the top. Mozzie follows it up. Starkey puts it in. IVI on the board for the first time in the Grand Finals.
Oh, and you knew it. You could feel it in the air. The crowd was just waiting for that to happen so they could finally get on their feet and get loud. And indeed they did. So a big goal, big hit here. 43 seconds left. There's still time. There's a lot on the line. 5,000 reasons here to be winning today as it goes to Nadash up from the sky, hitting it high, and now on the rebound. Crash found it, but it will be sent back to the nest, bouncing again to Swag War. Swag War, dangerous from afar, and the goalkeepers knowing that, trying to retreat.
Swag War managing to dodge one, dodge two, can't get past JDG. Goblin trying to reinforce on the back line and gets the ball out of the zone of IVI, interesting for a reset. Ignite are up by a point. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. IVI have to score here. They have to get the ball up off of the ground, elevate it a little bit, and put the pressure on. And as they try to do that, Swag War gets ball control, likely to swat it to the floor as Goblin scoops it up. They're trying to put another point on the board. They're trying to get some momentum, and that could cost them. Mozzie keeps it elevated. If this goes into the hands of IVI, they have an opportunity to keep it moving, and instead it does. Oh, they try to hit the ground. JDG is here. The pass goes wide. It hits the ground. The round ends, and Ignite take a 3-0 lead in this best of 7.
That is a commanding lead in this best of 7 after IVI getting their first goal of the matchup from Starkey. The sub-in came in for Mozzie, wearing Mozzie's headset. But yeah, this is what an end to that round. Down to the wire. We almost saw JDG keep that one up, bring it to the offensive zone, get an opportunity to go. Unfortunately, hits the ground. We're going to a round 4 with a 3-point lead to the favorites.
But you know what? I know somewhere out there, well done to Ignite, but I know somewhere out there, Far is shaking his head a little bit, saying, why don't they just slam the ball down, trying to score the extra point? Because we've seen that before, and I've seen them in our chats before doing just that, you know? I know we said earlier you always want to score at the end of the game if you can, but ultimately in that situation, spike, just end the game. So, you know, one of those little things that could cost them sometimes, but fortunately for Ignite, they were able to complete that win.
Yeah, and here we go right back into it. An opening point for IVI in round 4 when they need it the most. Their second point all day long in the Grand Finals, and they're in control.
Big goal there from JDG. It's Goblin turning around here for Ignite. Goblin sending it across. Big defensive stop. Sends that one out, but there's Tux on the back line moving on up. Tux hits Baz. Baz has Tux moving in. Sends it across him. Starkey once again. Big stop and goal. Nah looking to pick that one up. It's all four of them there looking to pick that one up as IBI is going to turn this one around. Just under 4 minutes still to go in this fourth round matchup. Ignite up 3-0 in the whole matchup as it will be turning IBI turning it around again. Yuki sending it up, looking for a teammate. They're caught in sewers there. It does get to the edge of the offensive zone, but turning it around is Ignite.
Baz scoops it up, tries to push forward, sets up for the cross pass down to the bottom line, tries to challenge the 1v4 and doesn't get through. No surprise there as JDG bats it away to the midfield, and this team dives back to get control. That could be risky because here comes IVI trying to barrel forward and threaten pressure here in the back line of Ignite's zone, and because they have a 1-point lead, it's kind of nice that they're buying this time. Yuki swats it away, and we continue to get ball control between both teams in the midfield.
And there's definitely blood in the water here for Ignite, sensing it after these last 3 rounds, but this is the time for IVI to shine. If they're going to do so, now is the round to do it. Ignite here trying to capture their first goal still in a position that they're not really that familiar with being in across these rounds, and they're trying to change that fate now with a send-off to Swagwar, who could not maintain it, as there will be 4 players there able to gather with plenty of time now, juggling and dribbling up the floor. Here comes IVI.
Yeah, IVI doing a lot of defensive work there to get this offensive opportunity. Oh, Baz, big steal, Baz, big send. Is that going to be on? I cannot tell. Just wide. Yuki will slap that one away as Mozzie Starkey there on the far side tries to get the one out of the zone. Does. Starkey with possession only for a moment. JDG gets the forward progression. Nah with it. Nah has Mozzie nearby. Nah sending it across Yuki. Oh, off of the Geo. And it will be a turnover there. Ignite turning it around. That is Swagwar moving on in. 1v2. Swagwar sends it. Big stop by Nah.
Absolutely colossal save from Nadash to keep them at a 0 point. This is going to be an incredible challenge. They need another point on the board because keeping Ignite to 0 is hard as Starkey comes in and saves that one, sticks up the hand and denies that one from going into the top corner. JDG finally gets IVI ball control, and they're on the pursuit for their second point in round number 4. Across to Starkey, the shot down low, it goes a touch high, and we go back to the corner of the IVI zone.
That was such a huge missed opportunity there. The goal momentarily opened, a rare thing indeed, as now it will be back to another open goal. Danger zone. Baz able to slap it high, trying to set somebody up, but JDG will get the ball back, sends it to the midfield. It's going to float right to Swagwar's arms, managed to tap it out just before the tackle. JDG now and Baz contesting along with Dash, not Dash, and Swag. A lot of players converging here and now dispersing once again. The communication coming through.
I was seeing tackling being prioritized on Swagwar in particular. This team of IVI is trying to get rid of Swagwar's momentum. They do not want this player coming flying in like Goblin comes flying in, like JDG comes flying out of the corner to deny that ball entry. 56 seconds on the clock as IVI try and work their way to a round win. That one gets denied by Yuki. A tackle that could have been followed up by Baz. Shot to the corner. We tie up 1-1 in the round 4. Ignite just need another point, and they've got themselves a series win. They've got themselves a grand finals win. They've got themselves a VRMLCon medal, everything stamped in place, and Mozzie Starkey, no, Baz swats it away.
Big stop there by Baz. Yuki setting that one up, has a teammate there, that is Starkey with it. Starkey looking for options, Goblin disrupting. Big scrum there on the far side corner. Yuki gets a hand on it. It's got to be Tuck setting it out. That gets away. Is that on? Oh, it's just wide. Starkey will get it slapped away. You've got 11 seconds on the clock in this tie game. Are we going to be going to overtime? As this one is jockeying for there at mid. JDG can't accept the pass. Caught in the near side corner. Swagwar there doesn't get to it. We're going to be going to overtime, Palador.
Oh, will it go? Will it go? It's a big congestion here at the bottom of the bridge. All these players flying and trying to breathe. Not a lot of time to do so. My goodness, you can feel the tension in the air. Can cut it with a knife.
This ball bouncing up to the top of the IVI zone. I think everyone getting a little nervous when that happens because Swagwar's had a couple of amazing shots underneath them as they do carry the ball forward. A good dive from JDG, knocking the ball out of Swagwar's hands, saying, no, you're not carrying this in for a shot behind your back. As they try to get it to the back zone of IVI, we're seeing this defense come alive. We're seeing this offense come alive. We're seeing their organization as a team come alive. And we'll see if they can put a point on the board. Goblin dodging one on the tackle, looking to move forward here up the top. Dodges down low.
go. Takes a shot to the corner, and it's Ignite, crowned as your VRMLCon 2025 champions.
Congratulations, Ignite. Big victory here. The first Orion Drift VRMLCon champions in history.
You know, something that we've said in the past, and we say it again, sometimes history repeats itself. Incredible effort there from Ignite. See the players there celebrating, shaking hands, the sportsmanship again. Iron sharpens iron. They may fight with their swords, but at the end of the day, they're gonna go here and celebrate a good game, a good match, and knowing that, hey, you got me this time, but I'll see you the next. You love to see that, and again, a conclusion of an amazing con and an amazing run for Ignite these last few months to really stamp themselves as the top dog going into Season 1 starting in September.
And that's going to be some expectations there going into Season 1. Everybody's going to be looking at Ignite. Everybody wants to dethrone the king. You sit at the top, there's only one way to go. We're going to send this off to Nightfire to give us our interview with the winners.
Yeah, just line up for me here for the shot. Let's hear it one more time for Ignite, your VRMLCon 2025 champions. We have an incredible medal ceremony for you here. We are crowning these champions with a past champion. It's Ender. Do you have anything to say real quick? I know you said you're not going to be on. Now you are. Anything to shout out? Anything to say before you crown our champs here?
Yeah, man. Shout out VRML for putting on this great event. Shout out everybody bringing your kids out too. Competitors coming out, flying to Phoenix. This was a great event. Congrats to Ignite. Congrats to everybody. Second place IVI. It was a great tournament. So good job, guys.
Absolutely. And as we crown you with your medals, Ender, drape it over there next. I gotta ask you, how does it feel to be here on this stage? Did you think that you would be a VRMLCon champion?
With these guys, absolutely. These guys are my family, and wouldn't have done it without them. And yeah.
Any shout outs to anyone at home?
Shout out to God, first of all. Shout out to my mom. Shout out Yop. I know Yop's out here somewhere, you know. Shout out to Far for making this all happen, making us Ignite. And yeah, thank you for VRML for hosting a great tournament.
Awesome, thank you. As we give you your medal for VRMLCon, did you think that you would be here? Was there a moment where you thought maybe you were going to have to go another round against IVI?
It started to get really close, especially once they got in front of our goal a few times. They just kept pestering shot after shot after shot, and although we played phenomenal defense, it really just put on the pressure, and I honestly thought we might have lost another.
Yeah, again, congratulations. Any shout outs for you being crowned the VRMLCon champ?
Shout out Mark, shout out David. Not shout out Storm, and let's shout out KFC.
You're getting a VRMLCon 2025 medal. How does it feel? It's a long test of stamina all day. Was that something that factored in today?
Yeah, I had to take a food break, man. I was so tired. But no, it was fun. It was really fun.
Any shout outs to anyone at home?
Only Yop, dude. Yop is my guy. Shout out to Yop.
Awesome. You're standing here as a champ. I mean, what are the emotions going through you right now? How does it feel to be here?
You know, it's really cool. You know, playing like VR for a long time, you think it can't amount to something like this, but it's a really neat event that you guys put on. You guys got an awesome space here. It was really fun to play. Even though it was like an interesting morning, it ended up being a really fun event, so yeah.
Any shout outs to anyone at home?
Only Yop.
And last but not least, at the end here, it's been a long road for Ignite, I think. You know, how does it feel to be in Orion Drift, to be a champion again, to just be right back into the swing of things?
Amazing, really. It's just surreal to be here, and honestly, meeting these guys for the first time is just amazing.
Any shout outs?
Not really. The whole AA dev team for being here, these guys, and just the fan back home. That's about it. What about you? And Yop.
Let's hear it one more time for your VRMLCon 2025 champions, Ignite. We really thank everyone for being here at VRMLCon. It's taken an army to make it happen. We've shouted out a lot of people today. One of them that deserves it is our light operator in the corner. Stand up, give him a wave, give him a shout out. We appreciate him. Princess, stand up. Princess, a shout out. Yeah. Princess's parents, a shout out. My parents, behind them. All the parents, Dimwee, Palador, all of the casters, all of the production team. It is a huge, huge accomplishment for VR, for esports. This is a stepping stone for VRML to continue to grow this industry, and it's only possible because of the support of everyone here, everyone at home, everyone that watches what's going to be a spectacular Season 1 for Orion Drift. Thank you so much for being here and enjoying the experience. And I cannot wait for more with VRML. But until then, we are wrapping VRMLCon 2025. So, that's it. Stay classy.